Hey everyone, Dr. Aaron Moreland here with Vallejo Health and Wellness Center in Eden Prairie. Today I want to talk to you about a condition called Sibo. Okay, you probably never heard that term, or if you had that term, you're not sure what does that even mean, what do those letters mean? Well, Sibo stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Okay, and I have had patients come into the office and they say, well, I think I might have Sibo, but they really didn't know what it was. So I want to explain what it is. Also, how would you know if you even have Sibo, or what are some indications that maybe you're dealing with Sibo? So Sibo is related to the digestive system. The digestive system, obviously the small intestine is part of it. When we look at the digestive system, it includes everything from the mouth through the esophagus, through your stomach, the small intestine here, going into the large intestine, into the rectum, and out the body. So that is the digestive system, and there's different parts of the digestive system that help us to digest food, from the pancreas to liver. So the stomach acid, those all help us to digest our food. And so when we eat our food, we put it in our mouth, we start chewing on it, that starts the process. We swallow it, so it goes into our stomach. And I want you to understand that when that food is in your mouth, when that food is in your esophagus, when it's in your stomach, when it's in your small intestine, large intestine, that food isn't actually considered inside your body, it's actually still outside your body, which seems very strange because, well, isn't the inside of my stomach the inside of my body? It's not, it's still considered the outside of your body, and not until that food crosses the barrier does it end up in your body. Okay, so what small intestinal bacterial overgrowth is, though, is that the bacteria, we all have heard that we have bacteria in our gut. Okay, we actually have bacteria in our mouth, we have bacteria in our whole digestive tract, but where it predominantly lives is in the colon. And that is where a lot of the food that you can't digest is broken down. And what happens then is you get the nutrients from that food, because the bacteria actually helps you get those nutrients. But what happens with Sibo is we create an environment in our body where the bacteria can live in a place where it shouldn't live. And where we look at digestive issues is that the stomach produces stomach acid, so bacteria don't really live in there very well. Only a certain type of bacteria could live in that kind of environment. Well, in the small intestine, we create a very basic environment, which is also toxic for bacteria. There's only a few bacteria that can really live in that area. And really, it's not until the colon where it's a great environment for bacteria to live. Well, what happens with Sibo is our digestive enzymes decrease, and I'll tell you why in a second, why they can decrease, but they decrease, and then bacteria can move from the colon here into the small intestine, especially the front part of the small intestine, the first part of the small intestine, and then where they shouldn't be able to survive. But once they move into that area, when you eat that food, that bacteria starts to get to eat food that it shouldn't be able to eat. And when bacteria eat food, a lot of times they can produce gas. And what happens with people with Sibo is they will eat food, it'll get into their stomach, and then as soon as it starts dumping into the small intestine, the bacteria start to eat that food, producing gas. And what most people experience when they have Sibo is they'll talk about, yeah, about 3 hours after I eat, I start getting really bloated, almost like I'm pregnant, because that bacteria is in the place where it's not supposed to be. That bacteria creates gas, and that's what that bloating is. So that's what small intestinal bacterial overgrowth is. And so how you'd know you'd have it is that classic sign of getting bloated. Not right away when you eat. There is a condition where people will eat and right away they start feeling bloated. Well, that's in the stomach that's happening, not in the small intestine. So what happens is that that bacteria can survive there because we lower those digestive enzymes. Well, what can cause that? High amounts of stress. When we're stressed out, we don't need to be digesting our food. Think about if you're being chased by a lion or a tiger or a bear. What are the chances of you being chased by a lion or a tiger in Minnesota? Very low. But when we have that happen, that stressful event, and most of us, it's not being chased by something. It's we have a work project that's due. We have school classes that are stressing us out. Maybe a family situation stressing out. We lower those digestive enzymes. So then bacteria can live in a place where it's not supposed to. So that's one of the things, a high period of stress. I see that a lot with my patients. Another one would be a concussion, actually. A concussion, what it does is it impacts the vagus nerve a lot of times. That vagus nerve is what controls your digestive system, and so then what happens is people lower their digestive enzymes after concussion. So those are kind of the two big ones that I see. There's other reasons too, but high period of stress, concussion, those can both cause us to reduce our digestive enzymes and then cause us to have bacteria move into a place that they don't belong. And so a lot of things that can be done for SIBO. Biggest one you'll see on the internet though is to just eat what they call as a low FODMAP diet, which is certain foods that have certain sugars in them that the bacteria thrive on. So they'll say, well, don't eat those foods, it'll starve the bacteria out and then you'll be fine. That can sometimes work, but I have found that you really, if you're dealing with SIBO, you need to work with a practitioner, a provider that really understands what SIBO is and how to get rid of it, because it's not a very easy thing to get rid of, and there's multiple steps to doing it, not just doing a low FODMAP diet. And that's why it's really important that you see a provider that understands these things, see a provider that knows what they're doing so that they know what path to put you on and whether you're even dealing with SIBO or not. So again, my name is Dr. Aaron Moreland with Vallejo Health and Wellness Center. At Vallejo Health and Wellness Center, we have functional medicine doctors that are very trained in helping people with SIBO, helping to recognize it and helping to get rid of it. So again, highly recommend working with a doctor if this is what you're dealing with, and really a functional medicine doctor. So hopefully you're having a great day. God bless.